Well, this time I'm going to be talking about two things. I'm going to be talking about what the world know as a father of computer. His name is Charles Babbage. He's an Englishman, so I'm supposed to know the way his name is supposed to be pronounced, but eventually I don't. But yeah, he's the first guy, and then the second guy is Poisson, Simeon Denis Poisson. I believe that's how people are supposed to pronounce his name. He's a Frenchman, by the way. French is great, especially 2 centuries ago. Am I talking about Napoleon? But anyway, the first guy, Charles Babbage, well, he's known as a father computer, just like what I mentioned before, and he is, well, he's building the thing that is known as difference engine number 1. So, well, it's probably the first computer, and when we're talking about the first computer, people probably will think that it's Alan Turing who is the first guy to invent the first computer, because it's very useful and it's very it played a huge part for Britain and the United States and Russia to win the Second World War, because it cracked the code of German, right? But anyway, it doesn't matter how useful is that, how impactful is that, it's not the first one. The first one is the difference engine number 1, and it's invented by Charles Babbage. And Charles Babbage, he has an assistant, and his assistant is a woman, and it's a rare occasion, I would say. I believe it's just like 3 centuries ago, man. It's 19th century, come on. No, it's 2 centuries ago, yeah. 19th centuries, a woman, and her name is Ada Lovelace, and she's known as the first ever programmer. Wow, that's impressive. Anyway, so Babbage also made a plan to make a better engine. So, just like the first engine, which is difference engine number 1, you're gonna expect that the second engine will be the difference engine number 2, right? So that's what he was planning, but it didn't go well because he was running out of funding. So the government and also the college didn't want to fund him, so it prevented him to build his plan. But eventually the plan was there, the design was there, and also some of the components was there. So some of his huge fans, and it just happened recently, and what I mean by recently, it's not yesterday, but it's just like 2006, I believe, and they built it because they already have the design, they had the components, and they want to make sure that they're using the components that Babbage himself built. So it's becoming really, really original. So it's just like changing the direction of history, right? Because that machine is supposed to exist, but eventually it doesn't. But anyway, we move to the next guy, and his name is Poisson. By the way, a lot of people doesn't know how to pronounce that, and I also know that by reading a book. And the book is in English, and the writer is telling from the book that this is how it's supposed to be pronounced. So that's how I'm pronouncing it. So, Poisson, that's how it's written. But if you want to pronounce that, or you want to say his name correctly, which is, I believe that everybody should, that's Poisson. And he found a lot of probability distributions, and we use a lot of distributions in our daily life, especially if you're statisticians or if you are analyzing data. So he's very fundamental, he's impacting your life. Probably you're not going to have your last assessment, or maybe you're not going to have a degree that you have without his theory, who knows. But anyway, he's also a replacement of Fourier. And I believe that his name is also Simeon Fourier, and he's also a Frenchman. So he's a replacement for Fourier as a professor in one of the profound and noble college in French at the time. And what is it? And here's what bothered me, actually. So Fourier, he is physicist, I believe, because he invented what we know as a Fourier transform, and it used a lot in communication and also electrical engineering. So if I had to assume what title that he has, well, he's physicist or maybe mathematician, not statistician like Poisson. And then Poisson replaced him. So what is it? What is it? Are they gonna teach the same thing? Yeah, so it's something that I still need to look up. It's something that I still need to look for more information and more detail. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for listening.